Are you worth somebody talking about you when you're not in the room? Welcome back to the Fear Forward CEO podcast. I'm Tonya Gossage, and if you've been listening to these episodes, you're going to notice a pattern. And today we're talking about the REFER system, the REFER system. And today we're going to go deep into that. So this is the framework that I use in the Power Connectors community. And it's the backbone of how I teach relationship strategy. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. And every letter is the framework that came from something that I have lived. Not something that I have read, but it's something that I have lived through the 34 years of banking, 15 acquisitions, and thousands of client relationships. There's been many hiring decisions, over 1,000 people that we've brought through the bank through the things that I've been involved in and helping other managers, as well as the 15 acquisitions that we've gone through. Many of you may not know, but one of my responsibilities in the acquisitions have been to interview many people and help decide whether or not we were going to keep those people or let them go. And so I had to build relationships with a lot of those people. And honestly, it was not a fun job because I had to go in and build these relationships, get to know these people really well, and then have to have these conversations with our leadership and make decisions as to whether we kept them on our team or we let them go. And so I learned very quickly, number one, how to network, how to build relationships, how to really get to know people, and then how to identify great talent. And that's why I'm really good at what I do today in building relationships and networking with people. And so I really want to kind of dive deep into that today. And so this system that I call REFER is what I have observed in working with people throughout these processes. And so let's kind of go over this together. And again, it's the REFER, REFER, and every letter stands for something that we're going to talk about today. And so let's start with the R. R stands for relationships, and you probably could have figured that out. But a relationship is not just a connection on LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook, any type of social media. And it's not somebody that you meet one time at a chamber event or somewhere else. It's also not somebody who is following you on your page. A relationship is built through repeated, and I mean repeated, positive experiences over time. It's showing up, through following through with what you say you're going to do. It's through caring about other people and truly caring about other people's successes and what happens to them, and not necessarily about caring about yourself and caring about your own successes. You have to care about other people. And so in banking, we had a saying, and everybody has this saying, and you're going to recognize it quickly, but it's people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And I love saying they love doing business with people that they know, love, and trust. And I would even add to that they refer the people that they know, love, and trust. And so the question that every CEO, founder, owner, call it what it is, needs to ask is not, how do I get more leads? Okay? The question is, how do I get more people into my network? Okay? Not how you get more leads. How do you get more people into your network that truly knows what you do, like who I am, like who you are, and trust your work? That's where you want to start. You want to build that number, the number of people with great intention. And so here's one of my favorite tools, and I apologize, my throat is so dry. But here's one of my favorite tools for relationship building. And you may or may not have heard me talk about this, but it's called LORD, LORD. It's location, occupation, recreation, and dreams. When you meet people where they are without trying to sell them, you're going to make a lot of progress because you're not actually trying to sell them. And I shouldn't even say the word actually. You're not trying to sell them. You're trying to learn their world. You're trying to learn who they are, what they're made up of, what makes them work, what makes them tick, as I say a lot of times. Where are they based? What do they do? How long have they been doing it? What do they like to do outside of work? And what are they actually building towards? I love knowing what people's goals and dreams are. What is their vision? What are they working towards for 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years? I want to help people get to their dream. What are they trying to accomplish that far out? Because that's what I want to help them build. You know, I love helping people get to their vision. I want to help them see their vision 10 years out. I want them to live their vision now for 10 years out. So what are they building towards? What is it that they love to do? And that's what I want to help them build towards. Because when you understand those 4 things, you really understand who they are. You really understand them as a person. And if you can serve them, who they are and where they want to be, where they want to get to, it just makes things so much easier to help them get there. Because I feel like at that point, I know I can start understanding why they're not getting there. What's their bottlenecks? How do I need to serve them and help them to get there? What's working now? What's not working? What do you feel like is keeping you from getting there? And so I can help connect them. I can help refer them. And all 3 of those things are, in my opinion, relationship currency. And so the E stands for excellence. You have to be worth talking about. So what it is that you do to be referred, are you worth somebody talking about you when you're not in the room? And so I know that sounds direct, and honestly, I mean it to be, because if you're doing simple things or mediocre work, people aren't going to talk to you. Nobody is going to call and say, can you refer somebody that does mediocre work to me? No, they want to know who does the best work in this particular field. I don't want somebody showing up working on my air conditioner that does mediocre work. I want somebody who does phenomenal work that's going to get my air conditioner on and it's going to stay on. And so I don't want somebody introducing me to somebody who's pretty good. I want somebody introducing me that does the best type of work. We're building a house. I don't want somebody that's going to show up and do mediocre things so that in 6 months I have a leak in my roof. No, I want that thing lasting a very long time. And I want people that's going to refer people that's going to blow me away. I built a dashboard, a CRM for someone, and he said to me in the end that I exceeded his expectations. That's what you want. You want to exceed someone's expectations when you hand something off. And then that person is then going to refer you then on to someone else. Because then when you do that, that person is excited then to get started with you, because they're thinking that person is going to solve a problem for me quickly, or even you're going to exceed their expectations. And that's what I'm hopeful that the next client is hoping, that, hey, she's going to exceed my expectations, because then I'm going to work even that much harder to exceed the expectations of that client. And that's exactly what's happening for me right now. And so you want to deliver something that is better than what is promised. So excellent is only a marketing strategy that never stops working. And oh my goodness, I've got dings going off everywhere. There we go. And so here's the part that most people miss, is excellence is not just in the delivery. It goes beyond that. It's in the actual experience of working with those individuals. It's how you communicate, it's how you respond, it's how you handle problems, whether the client feels respected through the entire process. You make them feel a certain way as you are working with them. And that is all, whether it's expected or unexpected, you want that transaction to be experienced in an exceptional way. Those are the things that people talk about, the things that are what get you actually referred. And so then there's the F in refer that stands for follow through. You want to make sure that you follow through the entire way through that entire process. And I can talk about this one all day long, probably. I had a situation that came up Friday, and I won't go into it because it would take probably 10 minutes to go through it. But I was not a happy camper at the end of the day or end of the transaction. And I'm sitting here today waiting on a phone call, a follow through that I've not gotten yet today. And I expected it over an hour ago, and I'm still sitting here waiting. But in my banking career, I watched more relationships get built and more careers made on follow through than any other single behavior. We were pretty good in a lot of ways on follow through when we did our campaigns. And that is what helped us get exceptional results when we did our campaigns. It's not complicated to follow through if you have things scheduled on your calendar. I'll be honest, I have to create myself reminders, or it's easy to fall through the cracks. If I don't put things on my calendar and schedule them out, or even sometimes follow through with a note, then I can miss a follow through. I have a notepad in my bathroom. It's a sticky notepad and a pen that stays in there when I get ready every morning, because I often think of things that I want to do that may be extra that's not on my calendar. And so I will write those things down and bring them to my desk every morning to help me think through of additional things that I want to do, and then get on my calendar when I get in here to my desk. But follow through is important. Again, it is not complicated, but you want to say, or you want to, say what you say you're going to do, and then follow up with those particular things. Now, if something changes, communicate that to people. Do a voice text, do a WhatsApp, or whatever type of communication that you use. I was going to meet someone at a nearby town as I was passing through another town, and I had let them know that I was going to be through their area at a certain time, and I was going to be about 15 minutes off. And so I sent them a message to let them know. And so, follow up is extremely important. And so sometimes I started to say follow up is rare. I don't know. I should not say that, but just make sure that as a business owner, you do follow through and take care of things that you say that you're going to follow through on. And so here is what follow through signals to the people around you. It says that you're going to take care of your commitments and you're going to do it seriously. It also says that you can count on me. It says, I respect your time, and I'm going to say that, and it says I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. And it builds trust faster than anything else. And especially in a world where people are constantly over-promising and under-delivering. If I don't know that I'm going to be able to do something, I try not to make a promise. I might say, I'm going to try to do this, but I'm not promising you whether I will or won't, because I'm just not sure. And so the E in refer stands for empathy. You have to have empathy in your business. And if not, if not, it's very difficult to relate to people. But empathy in business context, it's not therapy. Please understand that. It's actually listening to people with the intent to understand them. Seek to understand rather than listening to respond. Thinking about what you're going to say next. I used to be a person that would be thinking about what I was going to say next as someone was talking. But now I seek to understand what they're saying because I am listening for certain things. What is the bottleneck? What is the problem? Trying to get deep down to understand how can I help solve someone's problem. I'm seeking to understand what is going on in the business situation. And whenever I was in acquisition mode in banking, we would walk into the communities or to the facility, and people were so afraid of change. And I understand, I get it. They're scared. Am I going to have a job when these people leave? They didn't know. And they were afraid of change. And the worst thing that we could have done was talk or speak at them instead of listening to them. Terrible thing to do. We would ask questions and we heard their concerns before we ever shared our solutions. We tried to make them feel as comfortable as we could. We tried to let them know everything was going to be okay. We wanted every person in that building to feel comfortable. Did they know that not everybody was going to make it? Yes. But we tried to make everyone feel as comfortable as we could. And it was my job to make everyone feel a part. And again, that's how I got so good at building relationships. And it was hard at the end to say, for people to come up to me and say, how dare you build such a close relationship with me and then turn around and let me go. It was hard. It was so hard. I cried with some of them because I fell in love with a lot of them, and I still have relationships with some of them that I had to let go. It was difficult. It was hard. And having empathy with people is one great way to listen, to understand, to know where those people are. And you build a trust with people that way. And so in your business, empathy has to show up. Questions have to be asked so that you can understand where people are. And the questions that you ask before you make an offer, before you get into pricing and all of those things, it's so critical. But the way that you acknowledge a client, I'm so sorry. Let me get a drink. The way that you acknowledge a client's frustration before you offer them a solution, the way that you follow up after a difficult conversation, and the way that you remember what matters to each person that you serve is critical to that conversation. It's critical to you as the person who's going to serve them. And empathy is what turns that transaction into a great relationship. And relationships are what turns the entire system, or relationships are what this entire system is built upon. And the final R stands for referrals. And here's the thing that I want you to understand about referrals. Referrals are the result of every single thing that comes before them. Do you hear that? The referrals are the result of everything that comes before them. You cannot skip to this R. You cannot hack your way to it. You cannot buy it. When you build relationships, you have to deliver excellent work. You have to follow through consistently. And every lead, every interaction, you have to lead every interaction with empathy. And then referrals are the natural outcome of that. And the referrals happen because you've earned them. Because the people in your orbit, they trust you so much because you did all of that work, sending you a new client. What does it feel like to you? Or what does it feel like to them? It feels like to them that they are a gift that they are giving you. They're giving you a gift of a referral. Not an obligation, it's a gift. And I feel like when I get a referral from someone who trusts me because of what I've done, the person who gave me a big opportunity to get a client that I'm working on a proposal right now because I exceeded his expectations, he did not have to do that. That was a huge gift to me because number one, he didn't have to do it. Number two, he gave me that referral because I did exceed his expectations. He was so proud of what I did that he said, hey, friend, you need to have a conversation with her because of what she delivered to me. I believe because of what she did for me, she can do for you and more. Because, hey, friend, I know what you need and I know she can deliver. That was a gift to him and a gift to me. Not a transaction machine, a reputation. And a reputation that is most durable growth engine that exists to me. In fact, I'll tell you, the biggest, if this closes, the biggest contract that I've had to date. That's what this machine does. Yes. So here's what I want to do. I want to challenge you today to take each letter of the refer system, REFER, and give yourself an honest score of 1 to 10 on each one of those. Which of those is your strongest letters? And where do you need to invest more? And I want you to start with that lowest score and build one behavior, just one, around that letter. And I want you to see what shifts. Okay? See what shifts. We're talking about unconventional paths here. The CEOs that don't take these routes that I'm asking you to do and learn because of it, it's a must. It's a must for you to grow. Take one. Just take one. I think you're going to love these next episodes coming up. I'm working on another interview that I believe you're going to love, and it's all about referrals. All about trust. But until then, until you get to hear it, I want you to continue to work on building your trust, making your connections count, and I want you to fear forward. I'm actually working on 2 interviews. One about building referrals, and the other one working through fear, through corporate, and then becoming an entrepreneur in a referral-based business. You're going to love both of them. But again, until then, continue to build trust, make your connections count, and fear forward. I'll see you again next week. I love you guys, and thank you so much for being here. Work on just one. Bye.